Hey everybody, mel0n here. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing something a little different from than we normally do on the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at a keyboard. Now this is going to be very much a learning experience as I go along with this unboxing and doing a full review on this keyboard. So bear with me as I learn the lingo and learn different things about these keyboards. But I'm very excited to take a look at the K81 today. So let's go ahead and start our unboxing. Alright, so in terms of colorways, there are multiple available colorways for the K81. So we have the Pink Bunny colorway, we have the Star Travel colorway, we have the Morse code, we have coconut coffee, and we have mint salt, and I will be taking a look at the mint salt colorway today. In terms of unboxing experience, I'm going to go ahead and take this slider off here. We have a fairly basic looking box, which does have a lot, but just some basic product information, nothing too crazy, pretty standard of what you'd expect for a keyboard. Inside, we have this little protective cover that goes over the keyboard, which is a nice touch. I love to see these because you can double use these as little dust covers. That's great to see this included. We have a little user manual here with just some basic information on how to use the board. I believe it's in a couple languages as well, so that's nice to see included. We do also have this little just quick start guide here as well, but this is in Chinese, so I can't really do a lot with this, so I'll just put that to the side for now. Now, before we get to the keyboard, I want to go ahead and see what else was included in this little accessories box here. So first off, we have a couple switches here. Okay, so we have some extra switches. I believe these are the ink linear switches or the ink crystal linear switches that LEOBOG has because they are LEOBOG branded, but I will confirm that for the full review. So we have an extra set of 4 of those, and then we also have, we have a bunch of stuff. All right, so we have 2 extra little silicone caps here. I'm assuming these are for the feet of the keyboard, but I will confirm that for the full review. We also have a LEOBOG branded switch puller and keycap puller, which is nice to see included. And lastly, we have a fairly standard looking USB-C to A cable. It doesn't appear to be branded with, it does have a LEOBOG branding on the USB-C end of it. It's not the most amazing cable. It's pretty standard. It would have been nice to see like a paracord or like a fabric wrapped cable, but this will do the trick for just general usage. I believe that's all we have for included accessories here. So let's go ahead and talk about the keyboard itself. So here we have the K81 here. Now the K81 does have quite a couple features. So this is a tri-mode keyboard. So it does have Bluetooth, 2.4 gigahertz and USB Type-C. The 2.4 gigahertz dongle is actually stored in the board itself. It's a little difficult to get it out, but there is a little USB-A dongle on the inside here, which is kind of cool to see. It would be nice to find an easier way to get it out of this because it can be kind of awkward since it's in a little deep, but that's fine, that it is what it is. Now, as you can see here, my case is completely transparent. Depending on the colorway you get, there may be some differencing. Like the Pink Bunny one is a pink transparent one, whereas Space Travel and Morse Code, I believe, are a darkened version. So depending on what colorway you pick, you'll get a different kind of transparency. Now, my K81 does come with these transparent pudding keycaps that you can see through, which are going to help with the lighting here. Now, different versions of the keyboard will come with transparent and semi-transparent versions of these, but I have the clear ones for today. Another feature on the LEOBOG keyboards is this multi-function knob here, which you can bind to your own usage, which is pretty cool. I believe by default, this controls volume and this just mutes your PC and unmutes the PC, but I'm sure you can rebind this to different things. It'd be really cool if you could rebind this like Discord to like lower and raise your microphone in Discord and mute all and that kind of stuff, but I'll have to see if you can do that in the software when I do my full review of this board. On top of that, this does have a completely hot swappable PCB. It does have a plate mounted stabilizer. It has a pour on plate foam and a PET case, which means this case is going to be very sound dampening optimized. It has dynamic RGB lighting, which you'll see in a minute. It has a 3000 milliamp hour battery, and it has NKRO, which is an anti-ghosting tech or an anti-rollover tech as well. Now, my K81 is using LEOBOG's Ice Crystal Linear switches, but you can get different switches from their website, but I'll be looking at the Crystal Linear switches and I guess some of their ink crystal linear switches as well, since they included them in the packaging. Now, in terms of board QC, everything feels pretty good. The board does have a very good heft to it. It does feel like a very strong, very well built board. I haven't noticed anything that would be a possible concern for QC so far, but I still have to do a lot more testing on this, but so far the QC has been completely fine. Now, I'll give you guys a quick little typing test here so you can kind of hear the sound. As someone who's been using a HyperX Alloy Origins core for the past 4 years, going to a more premium keyboard is definitely a bit of a shock, if that makes sense, because I'm used to using pretty subpar switches, but I really do like the switches on here. These Ice Crystal Linear switches do feel very creamy. They don't have an actuation point because they are a linear switch, so when you press them down, they just actuate. There's no click like you'd feel on a blue switch or something like that, but they do feel really nice. The sound dampening of the case as well definitely is noticed here because these switches do have a very creamy sound to them. There's not a sharpness to them, which is really cool to see. I do want to test the hot swap ability of this board, and I want to see if these different ink crystal switches feel a little different or how they compare to the ice crystal linear switches, but I'll talk more about that in the full review. Now, I'm not going to test the wireless capability right now just because I'll do that a little later. For the sake of time, I'm just going to go ahead and test out with the USB-C connection here. Now, this does have full function backlighting. You can change it a bunch in the software, which I'll talk more about in my full review, but the backlighting looks really nice. It does have a very nice look to it. My only complaint I have right now is that because the backlight is so bright, it's kind of hard to see what the actual numbering is on the keys, because you can see here on the escape key here, the actual inking is printed onto the top, or it's applied on like a sticker, where it's not a shine through keycap like I would have expected on a case like this. So I may swap these keycaps out for something that's a little more visible for the full review. I'll see how it handles over testing, but the RGB looks really nice. I'm definitely not the biggest fan of super RGB-esque keyboards. I generally turn mine off, but I'll play around with it for the full review to see how it is. But that's pretty much everything for my quick unboxing of the LEOBOG K81. Again, I have a lot to learn when it comes to keyboard tech and all the lingo with this kind of stuff, so bear with me on this one. I will have a full review of this board out in a couple weeks once I have some time to do some more testing, and I'll do a much more of an in-depth dive on this board. I really do want to test the hot swap capability of this board, and I'll probably take it apart as I usually do with everything on this channel. So we'll see how it fares over testing, but I will have a much more in-depth review of this board out in a couple weeks. So get subscribed so you don't miss that and all the other reviews I have on the channel. Thank you very much again to LEOBOG for sending us out for a review. I greatly appreciate it, and I will catch you guys in the full review in a couple weeks. Peace.